Good morning. Judy Allan here. It's good morning and sliding into afternoon, right? Judy Allan here in San Antonio, Texas, and it is working on ramping up on being hot. So there you go. Today we're going to make 2 easy cards from scraps. We're going to show you how to do that. And we're going to also make a simple stamping card with our 3x3. And so with that, we can get down the hands. We're still doing Father's Day. This is the last week for Father's Day because it is Sunday. So you still have time to hand deliver a card or one that you might want to mail and make it a little late, right? So let's go down the hands. This is all that I have left from what I already had made. Everything else has been given away. The only reason this one hasn't been given away is this is what's on the inside. I thought somebody was going to give it to their dad, and they decided they picked another one. So there you go. All right, so today we're still using Gone Fishing, and this is great for birthday or anything, right? It's not limited to just Father's Day. It's good for retirement. It's even good for women, right? There's a lot of women that fish more than we realize, right? More than we realize. So this is, and I've marked the measurements down here. This is 2 by 2 5/8, and I'm going to use 4 of them, and this is scraps left over from Designer Series paper. And I'm just going to put these down. And this, some of the stuff is scraps that I had left over from last week, right? So you'd have to watch live on that one. But last week I used those, and I have scraps of those left over. So if you ever watched me on Teach Me Nana with Zoe and Nana stamping, I always tell you keep your leftover stuff, right? Because you'll use it. So that's what we're doing today. Some of it we may use, and some of it won't use at all. But it doesn't matter. I can do retirement cards, I can do birthday cards. I'm not limited. So I'm just taking these 4 pieces here, and I'm just going to sort of center them the way I want them. Like I said, these are just 2 by 2 5/8. And I'm just going to get this down and get them sort of angled where I want them. And we're just going to put these down. And then from there, I already had stamped some Father's Days because I wasn't sure how many Father's Day cards, so I'm sorry. But I have to, I'm using up the stuff I had left over, right? Because, no different than you, I still have some folks I actually still mail and get it to them by Saturday anyway. And because they're close enough. If there's anybody really out of state, far away, that I wouldn't be able to make that happen. And then, oh, this one's out. Okay, that could be why it's gone. Anyway, yeah, let me get another one. I just used that one up. All right. So yes, so hand delivered ones are okay, right? If you're just gonna wait till the nth moment, that's not a problem. You still have time for that. But if you want to get them in the mail, you need to be thinking about it. Okay, so I'm just lining these up. Is all that I'm doing. And see, there's 2 different sides, so I'm just using the opposite side, right? So it's just a great way to use scraps. Use up some of those scraps. Whatever kind of scraps, this will work for anything that you have in scraps, right? So just go through your scrap pile, size them down to 2 by 2 5/8, and you're ready to go. Ready to go. All right, then all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to put it up on dimensionals, but I am going to put either the thread here, the linen thread, or, ooh, I'm going to use this one. Okay, it was going to be either or. So if you saw last week, all I did is I took this, wrapped it around my fingers. I must try to need 3 fingers this time. Just depending how big you want it, right? I'm going to need something to spread out there. I can spread behind my tag here is really what I'm going to do. Just give it some of that whole fishing look, right? So actually I'll spend more time most probably on this than I would actually on anything else. So let's see here. I got it right here. I need to get something there to hold it together. I'm going to use a dimensional here. Put it together. So if you're out there, please be sure to say hello. Please be sure to say hello. We always like it when you say hello and say hello back. Tell us what you like and what you don't like, or you know, lots of times if you just tell us what you'd like to see. We've done that many a times. Somebody says, I would like to see you do this, and we go, okay, and we'll do it, right? So let me get one more, need to get a couple more dimensionals on here. So yeah, like I said, just share it. But this is just quick and easy. This is from the Let's Go Fishing paper. And then this is Gone Fishing stamp set here. And then it's got, it's also got the die set as well too. We showed a lot of that last week. So if you didn't get a chance to see it and you want to see it, it's out there on YouTube. Thanks to my lovely daughter. And I'm just going to put this here. Now instead, I could use bling. But what I was going to do on this one, I have to press a little bit harder there. Alright, so what I was going to do in here, actually I was just going to put this right here. Okay. And let me use the glue there. So it's just an easy way to decorate. And use my leftover pieces, right? Now I still have some leftover pieces here as I'm looking at them. I'll put this one right here. Then I was just see, so these are all silver pieces. I just use them to go in there and sit there and use up all my silver pieces. Let's see here. I have a hook. I had leftover hooks. I was just going to use them up, right? Just use them up. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put a hook out here. And I'm going to scrape some of that off because I do have a thinner glue thing, but I don't have it with me right here. And I'm just going to put this out here, right? Let's see if I can get my little mat here. If you've ever seen me do this before, and I've got glue on my fingers. Hello, Jennifer. We so look forward to seeing you soon. And then we're just going to do this right here. That was just a lot of glue, right? So these are just the things that I die cut out of silver. And again, I just used nothing but leftover silver too, pieces, scraps. This is nothing but, everything was from scraps. So there you go. There is card number 1. All right. All I did is use some scraps. I used some scraps from last week. This is scraps from last week that I had already put together. And then all the other paper here is scraps, okay? And this right here is actually a 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. And I left it square, but the next one I'm doing, I'm going to do a little different, okay? So here's card 1. Card 2, you might be a little shocked at the color, but after I got through playing around with this and trying out different colors, I decided I liked this color the best with these choices of what I had, because it's just darker paper, right? So same thing we're going to do here. Let's see here. That again, it's going to laying out, right? So I'm just going to do like I just said. It's just different colored paper. It's different DSP too, but it's all with the same DSP of Let's Go Fishing. So same paper family from a DSP perspective. The only thing is that I've changed background colors too, right? Because the other ones had more blue tones that we were looking at in it. This one did not, and it was trying to find something that really made the colors pop. And this color made the colors pop. And you see, this is the back side of this paper here. Again, I'm using scraps. I even got some smaller scraps, but we're using the size scrap right now. It's one of those things when you get scraps and you start cutting down your scraps, then you got smaller scraps. So I have those too, and we'll make something out of them. It's just not today. Okay, today we're just focusing on this portion. Again, you can see, here's the side of the paper here. Here's the other side here. So it's beautiful paper. And that's one thing about beautiful paper, is you can use both sides. And it's just pretty. I know, I've learned just to not even bother myself about the fact that I'm covering up pretty paper and putting tape on it, because it's all pretty paper. So there you go. Well, I hope you're doing good today, Jennifer, and you are feeling much better. We're looking forward for you being completely healthy and well. All right. These are fishing poles. I see myself actually, I can see myself fussy cutting out some fishing poles here and doing something with them. But it's not a today thing, right? So we're going to put this one up on dimensionals. Now this one, I actually rounded the corners. You can do that with a circle punch. And we've got several of them. So I'm just going to put this up here on dimensionals. And again, let's see which I like the best. This one or, okay, I'm going darker. Okay, so that kind of day. Some days it's all linen and other days it's something else. And don't ask me why. I did it 3 rounds. I just did. I think it just gives it a fuller look, especially when you're putting this behind here. I'm just going to do like I did a minute ago here. I'm going to put a dimensional on here to hopefully hold these things together. It's one of the things when you wrap them around your, well, let me see. I lost it already. Okay, so just do that again. It's almost like I need a paper clip or something to put it together. Alright, let me do it like that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to put a dimensional here. Hopefully grab them all together there. I'm okay if that hangs loose too, right? Because that'll give it a nice little different look. They're just hanging out there. I don't care because we're going fishing. If you've ever gone fishing, if you have never gone fishing, I would have to tell you it's an experience. You know, when you have 4 children and a number of grandchildren, you always get the opportunity to go fishing, and it's always an experience. You create memories, whether you catch a fish or not. Whether you catch a fish or not, we have been known to catch another person. So, those are always fun and fun stories to tell as people get older. So, there we go. And then we had somebody that believed that if they caught a fish, they had to sit in the water with a fish. So, fishing is always an adventure. Always is. At least in our household. You'll have to tell some fishing stories from your side. So I'm just going to put this right here in the center, just like I did the other one. Now the only thing different I'm going to do here is I wanted to actually put the fish here. So we're going to put a fish right here to the side. And originally I was thinking of putting it on dimensionals, but here's how I always tell if I want to or not. I just sort of stick it behind this right here to see if I'm going to like it. And I think I do like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. These are the mini dimensionals. So it's going to have some height, but not necessarily a whole lot of height, right? So it's going to go on the tag just fine. And that's what I wanted to do, is at least put it on the tag, right? Because we have some people in our family that are like, oh my gosh, they go out and compete who's the king or queen of the year for fishing. A lot of redfish fishing. So it's always a test, right? So I'm just going to put this right down here. Okay. Now, we can still put some of these out there. I'm not sure how they'll show up on the green. Let's see how the hook's going to show up. Oh yeah, we'll put a hook up here. We'll put one up here. And then I'm going to put some Wink Castell on there, and we're pretty much done. And we're going to do that real simple 3x3 card, as long as I don't get glue all over the place again. And I did. It's just it's too big, right? That's why the other one, the smaller one's a little bit nicer and easier than the mess I'm making right now, but it's okay. Somebody's getting a Father's Day card, right? So that's all that matters. So let's take that Wink Castell. We're just gonna put some sparkle on the fish. And I am gonna add something else besides, right? I've got the hook there, and oh, I did that. Oh my gosh. Here, I got a sponge. That is going to be a super glittery fish. Yeah, we'll just put glitter everywhere. How about that? Since it's on the sponge. Oh my gosh. Alright, somebody's going to get a glittery card for Father's Day. I did not mean to squeeze that hard. So, that's what you do with all the extra stuff. How about that? Alright, so we got that. So, I'm just going to put one more. I think just on these little bobbin things here. Or they're weights, right? They're really lead weights. It's usually what we usually use when we go fishing. Put one down here with the fishing poles. Alright, at least I got 3 silver things on there. Alright, so there is our second card. So we didn't use embellishments from the aspect of bling. We could, but instead I used the silver full stuff that was die cut from the stuff that I had from the kit and left over from last week. So the third card we're going to make is a 3x3. And I did bring some bling for it, so I wasn't sure what was going to work best. And I actually tested out some colors, right? Because when you stamp this, what you want to look for is, what do you want it to look like? So this one originally was stamped with wild wheat, and then I did a second stamp off here just to see what it looked like, and then I came and stamped over it again to see what it looked like. This one here that I'm going to actually use is actually wild wheat that I stamped on the bottom, and this is just using old olive, and see what a difference it makes just by making the change like that. So that's what I'm going to use after I stamp Happy Father's Day. So let's get that Happy Father's Day down here. So I actually, on all of these, I use pecan pie. It's a new color if you didn't know. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. And I'll show you why in just a second. If I have enough space. Yeah, if I have enough space. And I have plenty of shadows. So there you go. So I'm doing this right here because I'm going to put the fishing lure underneath. Okay? So I'm going to use the two colors I was just showing you, the wild wheat. I did bring a gray slate, but I'm going to go ahead and use the wild wheat because the wild wheat looked really nice with the old olive. So these stamps are set so that you can sit up here. And I can stamp this right here, the lure. And then I'm going to have to use the other color on top. But what I like is that the eye that you see right there easily lines up with the second stamp I'm going to use. Now I'm going to just raise that up there so I don't do that. I'm going to make sure that's going to be a problem. I'm going to do this right here. That's what I have handy. Okay, and then I'm just going to line up that eye right there. And we're going to stamp. And there we go. We have our fishing lure. I just did that just in case I messed up. Alright, so I have that right there. Now the other thing I wanted to do on the inside as well is I wanted to stamp a lure on the inside to go with my sentiment. I don't know which sentiment I would use yet, but I'm going to at least do this here. And this again is just another fishing lure, right? And I'm just doing this, and see, it's going to be just nice like that. You could put some water too, and I thought about that. I might go back and do it. But what I like right here is you've got the stamp right here. And I thought it might be cool to stamp a little water behind whatever sentiment that I want to do. So I don't know yet. I haven't decided what the sentiment's going to be. But let's see how cool this would be one way or the other. I thought maybe this would be cool if I could just wrap this down the middle or the bottom. What do you think? Thinking the bottom or the middle? Let's see. We're just going to tie a knot. We're going to go old school with this. It's going to be just a square knot, because I can tell you right now, most fishing stuff that I get involved in, I usually use a square knot to tie off whatever I'm tying off anyway, because it just seems to always work that way. So I'm going to just do that here. And yeah, so this is nice because I'm going to have this where this card can stand up, right? It doesn't have to. Let's see if I can get this here. So it doesn't have to. You know what? Let me teach you a square knot just in case. Left over right, and you pull it through, and then you take your right one here and go over the left like this, and you just toss it. There you go. Square knot 101. So I use square knots a lot in a lot of things. Like I said, even sitting up there and tying my lines with my lures or anything else I have to tie off when I'm fishing. There's other knots you can use, but I use square knot because it's always the easiest one to remember. So I might want to make this up. I was trying to think if I want to go up or down. Actually, I think what I'm going to do after I did this, I want to do it twice. I did this before, and this I like that. Alright, so I'm going to do this twice. I have the right to change my mind, right? I can tell you how many times I've done that on cards. I'm sure you have done the same thing too. I really want to do the pirate card too. Well, it's not, they don't call it a pirate card. It's called On the Ocean, but you can get it to look like a pirate ship, right? So, if you've got grandkids, we do. We spent a couple of summers, let's see, left over right. Okay. We spent a couple of summers doing pirate stuff, right? We had a pirate ship in the backyard. What else do we have? We had walking the plank in the backyard. All right, let me get my crossover back again. You name it. It was pirate. We had pirate cupcakes. We had pirate napkins. Trying to think. Yeah, we've even been on one of those pirate boats, ship things you can go on. And so anyway, we've done some pirate stuff. So I think it'd be just cute to go and make that card. All right, we're gonna do this again. Left over right. I'll just have to clean that up when I get through and do it like I want it. So I can get it tied, if I can, the way I want it. It's not going in as easy as I thought it should. Seriously. But anyway, it's supposed to be the pirate stories. But hey, we invested in the pirates. And we had a girl pirate too. We don't leave anybody out. And I'll have to post a picture of them being pirates. But only when I get to go do the card. Only when I go to do the card. So, okay. It's not doing the way I want it to do. I might have to just give that up. Or come back to it when I'm not live. Sometimes when I do both, it's usually both, so I don't usually have problems when I do this. But I really like this look better for this, and I'll have to get that glued down and anchored down so it can't move once I get it finished. But I'll just have to wiggle with it and work with it. Plus the knot's not exactly where I wanted it, but I'm going to get it stretched out right, because all you got to do is just keep on pulling and pushing down until you get it, and then you just have to anchor it where you want it, right? Let's see if I like that. I don't think I like that. Alright. We'll just take it off. Alright. We'll just put some bling on here. We'll go back what I was originally going to do. I saw that and I thought, man, I want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just use this gray one here. So we'll just go ahead and put some bling on here. And it's okay. The world did not end. The sun is still up. And it'll rise again tomorrow. It will rise again tomorrow. So there you go. We'll just keep it simple like that then. Main thing is we have a Father's Day card that we can drop a little note in, and it's got a fishing lure here. So what we've done here is we've made two that were simple cards that we just made using scraps. Let me find the other one. And using leftover scraps from last week. And then we just did a simple stamping, which we can do with Wink Stella without squeezing it as well too, for our fishing lure for here. I just really like the fishing lures. I like how they come out. It looks like the ones in the tackle box, and that's what you want, right? So there we go. There's our 3x3 with the two that we did using our 2 1/4 by 1 3/4 there. That was this here. And then we also use 4 2 by 2 5/8, which are the 4 corners we have for each of those. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's just really simple, easy way to sit there and use those scraps you have and make some cards, especially for Father's Day, with it being Father's Day weekend, right? No excuses. You can make a card. It's easy to do. Easy to do. All right? So with that, we hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to have a very blessed weekend. Enjoy Father's Day weekend, whether it's for your father, your son, your grandson, or whoever, or a friend of the family. That's what it's all about, is being able to celebrate together and enjoying one another's company. Hope you enjoyed this today. And if so, be sure to follow us on social media. We'll have the video posted not only here, but we'll have it on YouTube, and we'll also have the photos posted on Instagram. Be blessed. Look forward to seeing you next week on Keep It Simple or Step It Up. Bye.